Welcome to the Generation Elevation podcast, a conscious, connected platform for those who are ready to manifest their dream life. I'm your host, Elise Riley, a former PT, now motivational speaker, igniting empowerment and transformation all across the globe. Here at Generation Elevation, we are committed to bringing you the most inspiring guests who will share their stories, wisdom, and advice to help you progress closer to living a life of your own terms.
Welcome back to another episode of Generation Elevation. Now, today I'm going to be talking about the law of attraction. You may have heard this before. You may have heard of the term manifesting before. However, if you have not, that's totally fine because today I'm going to be sharing with you what specifically that means, how to do it, and how you can utilize this in your life to help you achieve your goals. Whatever that may be, performance increase, whether that be increasing your health and well-being, whether that be getting your dream body for summer or winter if you're in Australia. It could be increasing your finances. It could be achieving those big career goals, creating a business, starting a podcast, whatever that is for you. I'm going to share with you how I've used this in my life and how I teach my clients this behind the scenes one-on-one. Like, this is the things that I share with my professional athlete clients behind the scenes. I teach them how to use the law of attraction to help them get that edge when they're performing. Now, if you are new to this channel, if you're new to this podcast, I just want to welcome you and say thank you so much for supporting my show, especially if you've been a long-term listener as well. Make sure if you do enjoy this episode to subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss out on my weekly episodes. And if you really loved today, if you could leave a 5-star review and rating on Apple Podcasts or screenshot and share your story, I would love to hear your feedback. It honestly means the world to see you guys out there sharing my episodes and like sharing how much they are helping you in your life, because honestly, I wish I had this podcast for me back a few years ago when I was starting to get into personal development and wanting to become the best version of myself. Like, I wish I had this back then. So I'm super grateful for all your shares. Now, before you're like, yep, okay, next, this is way too woo for me. Law of attraction, no way, that's way too hippie and spiritual. Hold up, because I promise you, I'm going to be sharing the science behind the law of attraction. Now, by the end of this episode, you can use your own judgment, your own discernment within yourself to see whether or not this feels true for you and whether this is something that you want to use in your life. But I would be doing you a disservice if I did not share how to do this with you, because I believe in my personal experience and what I've seen in others' experiences, and especially my clients, that this shit works and it's so cool. So I'm going to share it with you today. The law of attraction. What does that even mean? Kind of like the law of gravity, right? Now, this is something that isn't a specific science law, like the law of gravity. However, in the spiritual world, it is deemed one of the laws of the universe. The law of attraction basically means that which is like itself is drawn. So essentially, anything that is of a similar energy, frequency, that which is similar, usually attracts similar things. You may have heard the term your vibe attracts your tribe. That's essentially what that means. Now, let's get into the science part of this, okay? When we think a thought, we then have a chemical reaction in our body, which causes an emotion. Yeah? Would you agree? You think a thought, I'm happy today, you probably are going to feel happy. Yay. If you have a thought, I am super anxious right now, you're probably going to have the emotion of what? Feeling anxious. Yeah. When you have this feeling, this then creates an electromagnetic field around your body. Okay. And this energy field around your body is equal to your state of being. Now, note this down because this is very important. If we were to get a microscope and go all the way through the layers of our skin, get right down to the nitty-gritty of all of the things, right, that we have, all the layers, we would find between the atoms that there is 99.9% reoccurring space, empty space. There's been studies to prove that 99.9% reoccurring of this whole universe is just energy and information. So if everything is energy and energy is everything, then our thoughts and our feelings are producing a what? An energy. And if the law of attraction is true for you, then your energy is attracting your energy. Now bear with me. So you know that feeling when you walk into a room, let's say you get home from work or a day out and you get home, you see your housemate, your lover, your family member, your partner, your brother, sister, whatever, right? You get home and you have not said anything. They have not said anything. However, you can tell they're in a really, really shit mood. You can feel their energy. Have you ever had that experience, right? Or maybe you could just be coming home and no one said anything yet, but you can tell, like, I wonder why they've got a pep in their step for, like, why are they so happy? You can tell by that feeling of their energy. Now, especially with my high performer clients, it takes sometimes a while for them to believe in this idea of energy because it's a feeling. In this day and age, in this society, we are brought up to believe in what we can see. What we see is real, and that is science, but what we cannot see is not real. That is the belief that society has right now at this present time. And I believe that it is changing because there are things out there that you cannot see with your eyes, but you know are real. How many of you out there have a pet, a dog, a cat, whatever, right? And I want you to just notice next time you see them, when they look up or they hear a noise that you don't, they see something that you don't. When that happens, you don't go, oh, that's not real. They're just faking it. They're lying. Like when my dog back in Melbourne at home, when he would see or hear something that I could not, my senses could not fathom that sort of frequency, I'd be like, who is it? What is it? Get it. Come on. Get it. And I'm sure you would be doing that too. So there is frequencies or energies or things out there that we cannot see that are real, that we cannot actually process as a human, but the other animals and species can. UV rays. I'm telling you right now, I could feel the UV rays on my balcony here in London, but I cannot actually see them with my eyes. We can't see our heart rate. We can't see our brain waves. We can measure them and we can feel them. And if we get technology that can register this information, then we can see them, but we can't physically see them with our eyes unless we were to cut ourselves open, which is not going to happen here today while you're listening to my podcast. Thank you. Right? What about trust? Love. Technically, we can't actually hold love or trust in our hand, but we can feel it, feel the energy with another person. So this is my rebuttal to things that we can see only being the things that are real. Because I believe there are things out there, and I know that you know this too, that we cannot see as humans, but we can feel them. And we know in our own discernment they are real. So if we go back to that energy field that is equal to our emotion and the state of our being, if energy attracts energy, it would make sense if you were to think a thought like, as soon as you wake up in the morning, oh, I don't want to go to work. Oh, I'm so tired. It's going to be the worst day ever. Oh my God. Don't worry. I've been there. We then feel probably dread, lethargy, annoyed, frustrated, maybe even angry, emotional. And this is going to produce an energy field equal to that emotion around our body. Now, this energy field, because law of attraction states, your energy attracts the same similar energy. If you're feeling shit, you're going to attract more shit. You could be having the exact same day as someone else, but if you're feeling crappy, then your brain is actually going to then search your experience to prove that bias. So you're going to go through your day and it's probably going to get worse and worse and worse. And you might even be saying and confirming this to yourself. Bad things come in threes. Oh my gosh, this is the worst day ever. And it's about 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Hasn't even finished yet, right? You're already writing it off as the worst day. And so therefore, of course, it's going to get worse because you're thinking, feeling, and then producing an energy that is then going to attract similar things of that vibration to you. All energy has a vibration, a frequency. So when you hear people talk about frequency and your vibe, right, that's what they're talking about. However, like I said, you could have the same day as someone else. Let's say you woke up same day, but you woke up saying to yourself in the morning, I feel really good. Wow, isn't it amazing that I get to wake up today? What an awesome night's sleep I had. Today's going to be a really great day at work, or today's going to be a really great day out on the field. I'm so excited. And then you're going to have a good day. Usually, when we have these thoughts, then we get outside, oh, the sun's out, we feel really good, we hit all the green lights to where we're going in the traffic. Maybe we start smiling at people around us. We then get in conversations with people that we wouldn't usually if we were feeling that contracted energy. We're feeling expanded in these moments. And usually when you're feeling expanded, you're going to then attract expansive experiences. Now for me, before I knew any of this, I was living the same day over and over again. Like I was snoozing my alarm constantly. I didn't want to get up. I wasn't excited for my day. And I was one of those people. Now, it's okay if you do this. I was like you, whereby my emotions were dictated by the weather. I was allowing external things, people, situations, the weather, the environment to dictate how I felt, rather than feeling good regardless, because my energy and what I'm attracting is more important to me than fitting in with everyone else and complaining about the weather. So I decided to stop that, because blaming, complaining, justifying was only contracting my energy, affecting my goals and my manifestations. So I decided, okay, I'm never going to snooze my alarm ever again. And I have not till this day. Like, honestly, obviously I've had sleep-ins since then, but I don't turn my alarm on for those. So in all honesty, I do not snooze my alarm. It's once on and then I'm up. And I start my day with positivity. I think about today's going to be the best day ever. I think about what can I get excited about today? Wasn't that an amazing sleep that I just had? I'm so grateful that I have a bed to sleep in. I'm grateful that I have another day on this earth. I get to be here. I get to breathe. I get to be alive. So many of us take this for granted, and I did too before I was aware. And so I'm sharing this with you is because the law of attraction talks about your energy attracts similar energy. So if you have certain goals in your life, maybe you want to get fit. You cannot get fit if you're thinking fat or thinking unhealthy. You cannot get rich if you are thinking poor. You cannot be a winner if you're thinking like a loser. You cannot have a spiritual experience if you're feeling like you aren't good enough to be spiritual or you're not psychic. You cannot attract a romantic relationship if you aren't feeling loving within yourself. You just absolutely cannot, because your energy attracts energy. So if you keep attracting shitty relationships, if your bank account keeps getting to the bare minimum, if you keep attracting bills, if you keep attracting red lights, if you keep attracting really annoying people that keep triggering you, or maybe teammates or coaches that are criticizing you, or maybe you keep jumping on the scales and you're not seeing the results. This is all because there's a thought in your subconscious mind that is making you feel an emotion that is then producing an energy that is blocking those goals that you have from you achieving them. It's blocking you. So I'm thinking about doing a series and splitting this up into why you keep attracting shitty relationships, why you keep attracting low bank account balance, why you keep attracting shitty people, why you keep attracting disease, illness, and keep getting sick, why you keep attracting injuries, why you keep attracting all the things that you keep attracting that are stopping you from achieving your goals. If you want to hear a series on this, DM me right now so I know. I'm probably going to do it anyway, so thanks. So I'm pretty sure I've covered what law of attraction specifically is. Now, why is this going to be useful for you? This is not just some crappy bullshit hack to make you just feel good, okay? I'm not here to try and trick you into feeling good just so you can achieve your goals. There's no catch to this. What I have learned is that when you can feel good regardless, whether you have your goal or you do not in this moment, it doesn't matter. If you can feel good regardless, you'll probably be well on your way to achieving your goal anyway. But if you do not feel abundant, if you do not feel love, if you do not feel healthy, if you do not feel free, you won't attract these things. It is impossible to win if you feel like you're losing. It's impossible. And so you're probably wondering, how do I do this then? Okay, Elise, like I'm sold on this law of attraction idea. How do I do this? Now, I have spoken about what you focus on expands in previous episodes. If you scroll down to all my early episodes, there's so much value here on this podcast, guys. Scroll down and really listen to the gratitude one and what you focus on expands, because I talk about this as well in depth. But we have our reticular activating system in our brain. And this part of our brain is responsible for filtering data that we see. And this is actually our focus. So what we focus on is usually based off our values, beliefs, awareness, programs, memories, etc. And these are a lot of the things that I work on with my clients behind the scenes. Now, from childhood, we usually develop our values, our beliefs, and our programs based off the people in our surroundings, especially our parents. And that is why so many people, when they grow up, attract similar experiences to their parents, is because they have similar beliefs subconsciously like their parents and their family. And then there's deep societal ones as well. So I can do another podcast on that too. But to keep this simple and easier to understand, when you decide what is important to you is being healthy than being unhealthy, and your subconscious and conscious mind aligns to this, you then can go throughout the day, and two people can have the same day, but you're probably going to have your reticular activating system in your brain be more focused on the value of health than the person too that is not focused on that because their health is not a value. Same with winning or success. If success is a high value of yours, you're probably going to see more successful opportunities or more opportunities for success because that is a high value of yours. But if it is not a value, then you won't see it. And you may think, well, yeah, I want freedom, success, love, happiness. They're my values. But here's the thing, and this is what I speak about in my events as well. Like I said, we have our conscious part of our brain. This is a psychology term, by the way, not necessarily neuroscience, but there is definitely a lot of merit to this, and it works with my clients. So that is why I use it. We have a conscious mind. This is what we think about. This is what we think we want. We think our values are. But then we have our subconscious mind. This is what they actually are. 90% of the time, this is running the show for most people. This is our values, our beliefs, our attitudes, our habits, our addictions, our behaviors. And this is what keeps our heart beating so we don't have to think about it. It's running the show. This is like the times when you're driving and you're not even paying attention to driving, but somehow you're stopping at all the red lights, going at all the green ones, turning left, right, over the hill, and you're at your destination and you don't even remember the last 10 minutes because you were busy, whether you were concentrating on what Sally said at work or what you got to do later. You've probably had an experience like that, or when you're scrolling, oh, it's been 5 minutes, oh, now it's been 3 hours. Subconscious pattern and behavior. That is why so many people that binge eat or take drugs or drink alcohol, smoke, etc., they don't even realize they're doing it until it's done because it's not a conscious pattern. So if you have a value that is success and you're not feeling successful right now, you probably have a subconscious value that is in total opposite to success. You might have scarcity. You might have anxiety. You might have I'm lost, I don't know as your values. This is what I have discovered with clients who have thought their values are love, peace, happiness, joy, but really it's scarcity, loss, and like I said before. And that is what you'll be attracting majority of the time. So it's important to do the healing work on yourself so you can clear limiting beliefs, clear past traumas, clear negative emotions, and anything that is blocking you on a subconscious level so your subconscious and conscious can align up and you can keep progressing towards your goals and manifestations. I promise you, when you do this work on yourself, and I have so many masterclasses and coaching programs and one-on-one offerings that I do sell. So if you want to work with me, just send me a DM on Instagram, and I have got a website coming soon as well. I'll talk about that in a future podcast when that's a bit closer to coming out. But if you want to work with me so you can align these two parts of your brain together so you can manifest your goals, then send me a message, because this work, it is absolutely incredible. And I have used this time and time again in my personal life as well. And this is how I've created my podcast. This is how I've got dream guests on my show. This is how I have worked with professional athletes, like the top athletes in the world. This is how I moved to London and how everything was such a synchronicity to the point where like my diary that I bought at the start of the year matches the photo frame of the apartment that I moved into. Like, you can't make this shit up. It's literally what I keep saying to myself. I'm like, this is not a coincidence. Like, this is just energy. And the more expanded you feel, the more expansive life gets to become. So you're probably wondering, okay, Elise, how do I expand? I want to attract through the law of attraction. I want to manifest my goals. Now, I have a step-by-step process on my podcast, 5 steps on how to manifest, okay? So if you want to learn the steps, you're going to have to go to that episode and listen to that specifically. But what I'm going to leave you with here today is this. In order for you to attract your goals to you, it's not that chasing energy, it's that magnetism, right? It is all based on how you feel. If you're thinking thoughts consciously or subconsciously that you don't even know you're thinking about because it's so ingrained in you, if you're thinking thoughts and feeling emotions that are contracted, scarcity, feeling worthless, undeserving, nervous, anxiety, frustrated, triggered, this is going to be in your energy field, and your vibe attracts your tribe. And your tribe might not necessarily be super exciting and fun. So the biggest piece of advice I would give to you on how to use the law of attraction in your life is to get super specific. Okay, what is it that you want? Number one, what is it that you want? Get clear. What is it right now that is no longer serving you? And then I want you to ask yourself, okay, well, what are the things in my life that are no longer serving me and that I don't like, and what are they trying to teach me? How are they reflecting back to me? Because if you've got problems in your life right now, financial, whether that be performance, injuries, relationships, etc., that has come into your life through your energy. There has been some thoughts and some feelings that you've had in the past that have manifested these things into your experience. I said this to my client today. You might be thinking, well, if your thoughts create your reality, I wouldn't have created this reality because this sucks. But the truth is, the law of attraction doesn't give a shit what you think is good or bad. It just is. So what you focus on expands. And if you've been worrying, if you've been overthinking on all those problems, they're going to magnify and they're going to get worse. And that is why they say bad things come in threes, because if you have that belief, of course it's going to happen because you're focusing and waiting for the next things that come and happen for you. Or you could just see these things as challenges, as teachers, as lessons, and know that these things happening to you are happening for you. They're showing you what's in your energy, what you need to clear up within yourself, so that when you do clear it up, your subconscious and conscious can line up together and you can go on and achieve those goals. You can go and have that partner. You can go and rock that dream body. You can go and try out for that professional team. You can get in, you can win, you can get first place, not second. You can be a winner. You can achieve that biggest cash month in your job. You can achieve that pay rise or new dream job. You can go on that traveling trip. You can do all the things, but you must get your head right. You must put your mind to it. And you may have heard that saying before, if you can put your mind to it, you can do anything. But what that means is you must put your conscious and your subconscious mind to it. And that comes through doing the work, clearing up those limiting beliefs, clearing up those past traumas, negative patterns, things that you learnt from your childhood that are no longer serving you, breaking ancestral patterns that are holding you back from becoming the best version of yourself. That is how you use the law of attraction. That is the science. And I believe truly that it's literally just teaching your brain how to focus. Because if you teach your brain how to focus, your brain is going to then search your experience to prove your bias. If you have a belief you're a winner, your brain will search your environment and filter data through that belief. You'll see more opportunities. You'll be more likely to strike up conversations with people. Because you're more expanded, you'll probably attract people that are also winners. Follow the breadcrumbs of the journey and they will lead you. But you must get your head right first. You must be in the right mindset because, like I said, you cannot attract rich if you're feeling scarcity or poor or worrying about your bills. You cannot get healthy if you're feeling unhealthy. You cannot get that dream lover if you're hating on yourself. Look at your problems in your experience, anything that's triggering you. Ask yourself, how is this me? How did I attract this into my reality? Because my thoughts create my reality and this is what I've attracted. So I'm not going to be a victim of a victim anymore. I'm going to be a victor. I'm going to write my own story and I'm going to win.
Thank you for being a part of the Generation Elevation community. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to leave a 5-star rating, written review, share, and tag me on Instagram at elise.riley. Until next time, keep loving, keep learning, and keep rising.